Well, good morning everyone. This is going to be our first video for the season. It is Saturday, May 2nd, and we're going to take the day to start setting up our plot here. This year, hopefully we're fortunate enough to get 2 plots as opposed to 1 or 1.5 like we had last year. Border's probably going to run from here out and around, probably total of 50 by 75 feet. It's a pretty big area. It's twice what I had last year. So me and John will be out here getting this land prepped. In a little bit I'll take you over here. There's a ton of compost over here that we're gonna just put in the back of the old trusty Element and drive over here and unload on a tarp. We're going to try and cover this whole area with at least an inch or 3 of composting leaves that have been decaying and grass clippings and all the other good stuff that's been sitting over there for a whole season. As you can see in the background, there's the cemetery over there. So what the groundskeepers do all summer, all fall, they cut the grass and they get the leaves together, and they'll go and they'll take them in, put them on the right on the line of the woods over there, and we'll go over every once in a while, maybe turn them a little bit, excuse me. And by this time this year it's pretty black. It's nice and easy to pick up with the pitchfork and a shovel. I'll show you what tools I got, and we'll get over there and start getting this land right here ready. So we'll go do that now. Alright, so what we got here is a lot of the leaf and grass clippings from this last year. So underneath is going to be a lot darker. We want this dark, rich stuff, and I'll show you a good example of what we're looking for here to come put on the soil. Here, it's got a fair amount of breakdown. Everything's going good, but it's doing its thing. But back here, we start getting into the soil that we want to see. This is all from like a couple years ago. It was like black gold here. This is great soil, and I've already seen a lot of insects, a lot of like worms and stuff in here. This is hands down the best stuff we're going to get for the garden this year to put over there. So to get to it, we got to get through this stuff, but there are a couple other areas that have some of that type of soil from years past. There's a good pile right back here. This is a nice pile here. I think actually we might start here, and right back there too as well. It all looks like dirt, but that's actually just completely composted leaves and grass and everything. Another pile that's from last year. Another last year pile along with branches and stuff. So we're probably going to steer clear of this. If we need to grab it, we will. But I think we're really going to go for that dark black soil this year and try and pull some of that out of there. I'm trying to see if there's any other spots. Yeah, there is, but they're back up by the tree right there. And getting to it's not going to be too much fun. Might be an area over here somewhere. Nope. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. I'll show you a few things, just what we're going to be using here. Obviously, the Element. I'm going to throw the tarp down in the back, cover the whole back, and we're just going to load it on there. And what I learned last year is just leave a little hanging off. We're going to drive over there with the back open, pull right up to the plot. Just going to pull that tarp down. Shouldn't take much at all. It slides really easy on the back of the plastic mat in the back of the Element. We'll get it right out and onto the ground, and then we'll just start raking out. Tools we're going to use today. Obviously get a good pair of gloves because we're going to be doing a lot of shoveling. Don't want to get those blisters that are pretty common for things like this. And we're going to use a square shovel, a rake, and we're going to use a God forbid I remember the name of it, a pitchfork. So we're going to use a pitchfork to try to pull some of this stuff out, rake it out too, and then we'll pick it up with a shovel. Probably could have used a better shovel, like maybe a spade shovel or something like that, but the square one is the one we got to deal with today. So we'll get a couple loads over there and we'll start showing you what that looks like. All right, so we got the first load of some of the best soil that we're gonna find. Again, just nice and black. We're gonna get this over to the plot. We're gonna empty it out. Didn't want to make it too full because this tarp does get heavy, even though it does slide on the back to get it off pretty easy, but it gets pretty heavy. It's dirt. 2 phases of this is we're gonna drop this soil down, and then we're gonna grab some of these leaves from the last year and we're going to put those over, covering. Reason we do that is, I think I mentioned last year, is it keeps the weeds down, and what we'll do is we'll dig in for the plants and then make our rows using the coverage of the foliage from the decomposing leaves. Works great, minimal weeding throughout the season, and seems to be doing us well. Sorry, out of breath from all the shoveling. All right, so got the first load out. Probably going to get about 3 or 4 more over here before I start raking this stuff forward. And then what we'll do is we'll drive the element around to the other side and we'll start dumping it this way. Didn't anticipate how heavy this stuff was going to be, so probably take a little bit lighter load next time and bring it over so it's easier to move with the tarp. Even though it does slide out real simple, it's just really damn heavy for one person. So we've got to run from about here, probably to about right here for right now, and then all the way back. So we'll see how that goes. I anticipate probably 20 loads. Doubt I'll get that all done today, but we'll be back out here tomorrow and the rest of the week too as well, until we get it done. And then I'll probably have John bring the tiller up and we'll re-till again, because we've already started getting some growth of weeds and stuff. So if they don't release the plot, which they don't plan on releasing until May 15th when the actual order is up, but it got extended to 28th. So I think what they're going to do is make a decision on the 15th, and they'll actually say, hey, you guys can come up and start planting. I normally don't plant till either the last week of May or the first week of June, depending on the weather, but this has been a really nice, warm spring so far, the last 2 weeks. If I start to see that the weather is going to keep this way, or if the temperatures are going to drop, I'll hold off till that first week of June. But if I can go get some stuff and get it in here before that, I would be super happy. Then I'm going to talk about when our bees are coming, probably mid-June. We'll get those out there too. That's about it, man. Just going to get back at to get some more dirt. All right, I'm back. Just got finished bringing over about 10 loads of composted soil, composted leaves. There are a ton more left over there. We are going to work that middle section next. I think I'm done for the day. Spread out about those 10 loads, just dirt, or I should say soil, from the compost, and some leaves that are in kind of like the mid-range of being broke down, those ones out there. Still a little light, but we got a lot of good soil here. So what I'll have to do is get John out here. He'll till it as soon as we finish up this middle area over here. And then we'll start bringing the leaf compost over to cover up the ground, hold in that moisture, also make it so we don't have to weed like I mentioned before. And then we'll start planting. So my guess is we've probably got about a week's worth of work here before we even put anything in the ground. Both of us have seeds at home growing that hopefully are ready for this. We planted a little late this year. I'm sorry, we started seeds a little bit late this year, but they should be good enough to put in the garden, especially if we get the second plot, which is up to that post right there over here. That still is the plan. And then of course we have all this to our disposal, which is not used by the city, and that's, I mentioned the bees go there. All in all, I think it's going to be a good year. It's like 70 something degrees out already today, so time to get it done. We'll check back in later this week. Thanks. Bye, guys.